Yeah, so let's come back to the question. The question has been online for quite a while now. Um, and people ask, like, would you rather have like $3,500 billion, like bought with no drawback, or would you have a cent, 1 cent, that doubles once every 250 million years?
It's an interesting question, and it really has been making the rounds over the internet these past few months. I believe that most, if not all, people have come into contact with one version or the other of this question. And it's insane that they would always pick the $700 billion instead of the cent. It's um, it's ridiculous to see that they lack the needed foresight to understand what this long-term investment of the cent and this passive income will bring them down the line.
Yeah, I think it separates, like this question separates people that understand economy correctly, those that to understand the economy, quite frankly, because you see, if you have like $250 million at once, the inflation rate is like 6%, so you will lose millions of dollars every year. And for me, that's just loser behavior. I would rather have 1 cent. You know, you can't have less than a cent, so a cent is
Exactly, yeah.
in a way immune to inflation, you see.
I
And
once I once had to
because of
explain
that,
this concept to someone I met, and I illustrated it in this way that if you have a lot of full balloons, then they can only get empty. But if you only have empty balloons, then they can only grow. And that got it through to him, but still, most think it's a ridiculous thing to say because they say things like, but when you inflate the empty balloons, they will also become empty again. But what if you don't inflate the empty balloons? They never think about that, do they?
technology that really puts perspective to all of this. And if you put enough time, you know, why was it very British? If you have enough time, you would have doubled to the point where it's worth way more than the $250 million initially. But not only that, the 250 million would inflate all the way down to basically no value at all. So um, it's passive income, and I don't think people appreciate that enough. They want these instant pleasures, is what I call it. They want the instant money, but it will run out, and it will run out really quickly.
This is true. There is, again, coming back to the topic of not understanding economics, there is this law that if you get an amount of money in X time frame, then you will spend that money in half of that time frame. So if you instantly get these millions of euros, then you will also instantly spend them. And in the end, they often say that, I will make this money last, I will invest it, I will put it into these funds that generate passive income, but they never do because they think that this money is endless when, it's anything but.
Interesting aspect for sure. If we apply that rule to the cent, um, like you would spend the 1 cent that you just earned in the 250 million in the 250 million years in 125, or how exactly does it work?
Well, since again, you cannot lose a cent. So if you pick the cent again, you cannot lose money because you cannot divide a cent further. This is also part of it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's the gold cent, one would say, or the golden cent, as many have prescribed it in the history books.
The gems
It's
have
really a paradox, right?
Elaborate here.
That most humans would pick the obviously, silly and then pathetic. It truly says a lot about humans, man.
Indeed. And one thing I see many fail to consider is that what will happen to your offspring all these millions of years down the line with this power of your scent? Because I would personally imagine that someone who cannot think far enough ahead and who would pick the millions of dollars would not have their bloodlines survive until, let's say, the cent becomes $1 whole. But what about the person's offspring who picked the cent? Imagine that now in this far future, when resources are running dry, all humans are living in space and have nothing to do really. They will have these, at this point, it will probably be like $10. They will be the richest people in the whole known universe at that point. And it's all because you back then realized the power of the cent.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone knows that most people, even in our time right now, they earned it from their parents. Like nobody really works hard and then gets rich. So that's
That is
my
that is true.
yeah. And point is, uh, the idea of the cent here that will double down the line, and your offspring would probably appreciate you enough. They would mention your names everywhere, and even when you are dead, you will be known all over the universe by then, um, because of your great decision, I would say.
Uh, that is true, and I would even go as far as to say that this is a decision that has the power to embed itself in your very genetics. You will uh, you will pass on this
Like
intelligence to your children.
yeah, yeah. They mention this concept in fiction and pretend it's only fictional, but it's actually very real. You see, in fiction they do like clans and stuff that go back to a single person that did like some sort of specialized breeding where
Yeah.
they only breed with certain heights and stuff, like the Kurek clan in Kengan Ashura, for example. But a very real concept, and making a clan based on the scent, like using that scent as an economy to power your clan, that is your offspring, is a really powerful concept, and for sure one that we have to explore, I would say.
Most would say this is insane. They question how we even come to think of this. But again, questions like these only demonstrate their own short-sightedness.
Yeah, it's truly irony teaches us, makes us discover and grow as people, because the people that thought of this question, they actually did it initially as a joke,
Yeah.
because they think as reality slaves did this the worst, and the hilariously worse for them, hilariously worse choice. It really shows, and once you connect the dots and read between the lines, you find out that um, they are the silly ones for thinking so.
Really did hit the nail on the head there. But
Yeah,
well, even a broken clock is right twice a day. So while yes, this was meant as a joke, they did by accident manage to uncover a hidden meaning, really about life and everything, with this one simple scent.
yeah,
One
yeah.
one
And
cannot
with
underestimate
this
his power.
discovery, I am very optimistic that this podcast will redefine the the current basics of economy, and I think people will um, take inspiration from us because we are thinking and we are connecting the dots here.
They're saying we're smart. Many people have come to realize. Many people have come to realize this lately. We must, however, account for the possibility that the Germans will likely try to limit the visibility of this broadcast because, of course, they're the last people who need the truth getting out about this. So we have to be careful regarding this.
Yeah, I think it was Socrates something about along the lines of if you give people like the food and everything they need, the basic needs, uh, theater and everything, entertainment, they will not think about that government feeds them. And I think this is true in our times. You see people um, take whatever the media tells them and don't think about the hidden layers behind what they are learning. And because of that, they don't question those in power that will tell you that 250 million in that case dollars is better.
Right on. And this also highlights a problem with the modern person that instead of making their own reality, they really let others dictate the reality. But it's no wonder that now that these being a slave to reality is on the rise, and world problems are also on the rise, and the most will deny this, but there is a very evident correlation between the two. That well, it makes sense that they're adamant to deny it because that way they don't have to face the reality of their reality-bound situation, so to say. But there's definitely a correlation here. There have studies have been made, but their publicity is limited by the same people dictating the slaves' reality.
Exactly. And additionally to that, you see, phrase of escaping reality is a very common one among reality slaves themselves. And they know that they need to escape reality. It's a nature in humans, I would
Yeah.
say. But they have been taught not to, and they use methods that they call it escaping of reality. But they are like a bird that never learned how to fly because he grew up in a cage. Sadly, like this is the analogy here.
Yeah.
So they have the wings, they have everything they need to fly, but they can't because they have never done it.
Uh, some would compare this to trying to put together a Lego set without the instruction. But I don't think that this is quite right because even without the instruction, you can, approximate what the pieces are meant to do and where they should go. But in the case of these people, it's more like they don't even know that they have these pieces, so they can't even try to put anything together. Not even they cannot even take this one step because they lack this understanding and the vision of these pieces that really have always been laid out for them, but they just can't see it's right under their noses really. But that's all it takes to completely miss a thing.
Yeah, I think it was Kant that said, "Good carpenter is a one that never blames his tools." And in the case of reality slaves, if we are talking about the analogy of carpenters, I would say they don't even know that they have any tools to begin with, that they can judge whether these tools are good or bad. So that is their issue. They don't even know what the potential of their delusion is, and they therefore live in reality and accept reality as it is dictated by someone else.
That's so indeed. But well, that's why we're doing this podcast as well, isn't it? It's to show the people that they have the tools, they have the power, and
Yeah, I mean
and
they
what has been taken away from them, really.
yeah, it's the return of delusion because everyone in himself or in themselves have some sort of delusion that they can awaken and use to fly over, like fly in the literal sense, by the way, fly over reality and live the life that you want to live.
It's exactly so. It was Mach who said, "Be shapeless," because if you are shapeless, you can be any shape, and that is true freedom.
Yeah, exactly. You see, uh, Muck, in this analogy, if the police comes and wants to arrest him, they're gonna use handcuffs. I mean, Muck can have hands if he wants, uh, but he also could just melt them away, and they can't really arrest him because of that, because he can be any shape he wants. Someone who is any shape he wants cannot be put in a cage. That's a fact.
This this is the simple, palpable power of delusion that most will, not that they don't realize this, they will vehemently deny this. And who is telling them to deny this? The gems. It's always the gems.
Yeah, and as the famous quote says, "Best break." I mean, anything stale like these reality slaves, they will be broken eventually.
Exactly
It's just
so.
like crunchy piece of bread that if you slam it on a table or something, that it would break in two pieces. Can you really break water? Is the question. I don't think you can.
Um, there have been a few select adept swordsmen who have been able to cut water, but here we can ask um, the question that what gave them the power to cut the water, and it has the only logical solution is that they had to cut through the physical form of delusion. They must have had an even greater delusion. So this is the end game, to have your delusion overwrite the delusion of reality. Most will not never get there, but these people have existed. They have written books about them.
Yeah, these books are they the gems want to hide them, by the way. That's
Yeah,
another
I
topic
haven't
that
I
requires
haven't
another
been
episode.
able to find any myself. I know they've existed. I have studied the archives, but they've. Uh, I do have reason to believe that whenever there has been a book burning campaign in various fascist and other totalitarian regimes, the Germans have snuck in these materials among them to dispose of them conveniently without
Yeah,
anyone
I mean,
realizing.
there is this story where the Mongols invaded Baghdad. There was the library of Baghdad there, and they burned everything down and threw it in a river. The river turned black because of how much ink there was, and I am sure for certain that there were so many books in there about delusion that are now lost to times by great philosophers at the time.
Yeah, but we can only hope that
Yeah,
some of it, some of these philosophers' knowledge has been imprinted onto our own very genes and made us be revealed to us in future dreams. But we can only hope.
yeah. I mean, dreaming. I already dreamt of the great character of Cent and his great way how he says the word. And I think that's a story for another episode.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
for
There's a lot to discuss and a lot to learn here. We definitely have to return to this in another episode.
yeah. I wanted to go back to the concept of delusion and how every other animal uses delusion to survive. It's only the human that decides to be stale and to be a slave. You see, a bird, when it gets like to the winter, just immigrates away and flies, which is something that seems impossible at first, but flies hundreds of kilometers or even thousands to get to another place that is a bit warmer for it. That's that is being water. That is being having this flexibility. That is because of delusion. You see, realistic bird, like that's a coin term. That's in an analogy here. A realistic bird would say, "Oh no, that's hundreds of kilometers away. I would never get there." Then he would freeze to death. Never happens.
That's a very good point, and we can observe the different side of the same coin in animals who hibernate. Since if I can't go away, then why don't I make myself a warm place and have a nice little nap? And it really is that simple. But
Yeah, you can just do whatever you want, and you don't have to follow any rules to succeed. You succeed by making the rules and
exactly,
letting reality abide by the rules. You see, pigeons. Pigeons live in the seemingly worst places ever, like cities and stuff, and it's cold in winter. And you look at a pigeon and you think that he looks happy, because he made like pigeons made up their own delusion and live in that delusion, and they are the happiest creatures on earth because of it.
it's only natural. But this brings me to a great point, and as we know, it's human nature to despise something that you want but you cannot have, and this is very evidently exemplified with pigeons. These uh, most free bird of them all, completely unbound by reality, is the most hated bird, called the rat with wings, precisely because of that. Now,
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
reality slave will say that it's because the pigeons are vermin, but again, that's not true. We bred these birds to break free from reality, but then humanity did a heel turn and decided that that's a crime, and now these birds are shunned for no real reason.
You see, that's just envy. When the reality slave is envious of these other creatures, like he either just calls worst words ever imaginable, or he just tries erasing them from history and reality, even though they still exist. Like there are many examples of animals that the gems wanted to hide, and most people don't even know about. The gems hid them because of envy. An example for this is the great animal called the, and it's. I think this is also a topic for another episode.
Yes,
The point is, people would erase history and try to live reality and accept it as is, given by someone else, dictated by someone else.
yes. And with these people who have their reality fed to them, again, an age-old truth shows itself in that a person who does not know where he is coming from cannot know where he's going. And so these reality slaves wander aimlessly in the desolate plains of reality instead of making up their delusions and soaring far above it.
Yeah, it's almost like they have a part of their body that is always thirsty and they are not feeding that part. They're
Yeah.
being the urge to want to be free and to want to live in delusion, and they just never get there. They don't even know. They can't. There is another proverb. I don't know what country it is from, but it says that uh, diagnosing the issue is half the way towards solving a problem. So
Yeah.
it's used in medicine often. Like once you know what's the problem with the patients, you are more than half the way there to solving their issues. These people don't even know what the problem is. They don't realize it's a problem, and they would just call us insane and call us crazy for even suggesting that they have a problem.
It really does show how deep the manipulation runs on a worldwide level with in regards to this topic. And it's sad to see, it really is. But the least we can do is try and fight back like we're doing right now. And this will certainly reach at least a few people whose cages will be shattered by this, and they can finally spread their wings and take to the grand skies of delusion.
Yeah, I mean, my wings are so big now. Most people would say I'm insane for this, but I'm the happiest I have ever been.
And it only makes sense if you take a step back and look at the whole picture of from discovering your wings to growing them out. And there's an obvious correlation here that again they will try to deny.
Exactly.
They're going to say that um, you would have grown these wings anyway, or you would have had this fortune come to you anyway. But this shows a lack of understanding to the causes and factors at play here.
Yeah, there is also like I think that this is we can go towards, and then we can do the scramble after. I think most people like gems know that issue that people have something lacking in them, so they feed these people by giving them fiction. And you see, fiction is like something like I see in a way is the definition of it. It's something that is made up. um, It's in a way a delusion. Like fiction is a delusion in a way, but reality slave would read fiction and would take nothing from it because he would say, "Yeah, this doesn't happen in real life."
Yeah,
So it's just there to, in a way, entertain his delusion, but still keep him restricted in reality,
yeah.
keep him chained up.
That the reality slave merely consumes fiction, but the delusion is that lives fiction.
Exactly.
But with all this talk towards consuming, I'm really getting hungry. So what do you say we go ahead and do a little scramble?
Yeah, I'm here for some GPs and
Let's.
the and sausage water.
Uh, well, it's been a while since I've had sausage water myself. So let us feast our eyes on some wonderful scran now, shall we?
Yes.
Alrighty. Off to an incredible
All
start.
right. We are off for one of the greatest matchups. This is actually a really hard matchup. You see, hot dog in a waffle is like a cursed combination, right?
Yeah,
It's
but
quite cheap. The issue with the steak, the chorizo pie, it's the photography is really bad. I mean, it looks alright.
I personally would
Price
not.
data is like a minus
I
50.
personally would not dare to eat such a such a pie that is not willing to reveal its contents to me. I'm quite distrustful of it personally.
I see, I see. I would click on the steak, pie if it was like 350. It has no price data, but it looks pretty cheap, so I think it would win. I would vote for the steak pie
Okay,
here.
let's try the pie. Ah,
Oh
unfortunate,
no!
unfortunate.
Yeah, that was
Okay,
unfortunate.
well this has to be the peak salami. There's no way that these sad pepperoni and cheese rolls have anything on this.
The salami.
Yeah, and look how much
Yeah,
stuff you're getting for £4 only. It's a no-brainer.
yeah. Be careful. These are quids, not pounds.
My bad.
Okay,
It's
have
between a rock and a hard place.
would you have? This is the worst matchup ever. But I think I would. Oh my, the price.
I'd
I
rather
think I
have
would
the
click on the right one.
I'd rather have the meatballs personally. It's tough.
Yeah,
It
I can
really is
see
tough.
that. They are cheaper, like definitely, and yeah, I have never tried steak by myself actually, but it looks quite delicious on its own, just
Uh,
not with
yeah,
the mushy piece.
yeah. I have to agree with you there.
Yeah, the peas on the left one look tragic, man.
Well, yeah, they do, but um, so does the mushy piece.
Yeah, at least the ones on the left aren't even mushy, so I think the left one wins. Yeah,
Yeah. What the fuck? Actually, what in the world was this?
81.
That
Okay,
that's
the
not
one on the
normal.
left is straight up like
This is
31 pounds is
31 pounds
ridiculous.
for this is not acceptable. It has to be the pie and
Yeah,
peas.
yeah, these peas do not look delicious at all. It looks like vomit, man.
It does. But is the hot dog
Yeah,
worth 21 quid when compared to this pie with peas?
I mean, if the left was like 2 or 3 or even 5 quid, I would pay for it because of the beer. But anything higher than that, especially 21 quid, is tragic.
So is it the pie
If
again?
you were, if you want to get the hot dog one, you are getting it for the beer, not for the hot, because the hot dog does not look delicious. So I think it's the pie and peas.
Good reasoning.
Yeah,
Good reasoning. Yeah. Well, this has to
okay.
be the cheeseburger.
This is a hard matchup for sure,
But
but
if you
let's
look at
try on the right one.
the hot dog, does it looks a bit sick? I would say like it lacks the
Yeah,
vibrancy you would expect from a food like this. You know.
you see, the left one is like for these meat lover 40-year-olds or something. I think to make like this would be a 95, the left one, if it had some sort of greenery in it. Since it doesn't, it's a bit less. It's still a winner for sure. Like it's an 82 for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, right on cue, right on cue.
What? Why does this have peas, mushy peas inside it? No, dude.
I mean, look at the name, the Chippy tea by peas.
This is a crime against food. It has to be the beef short rib bowl.
Yeah,
I would
definitely.
even say that you're getting more food for the price here as well with the bowl.
Yeah, I like rice-based food, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I think jerk chicken is really underrated in this game. I think it should always win because
Yeah,
of
I
its
agree. I
quality.
always go for the jerk chicken, and I'm surprised every time that somehow it always scores
Yeah,
this
the
row. It
competitiveness
makes no sense. Do these people even eat food? Is the question I find myself asking when I see some of these results. Like with the pie just earlier, what in the world was that?
Yeah, we should go to some sports match just so we scram and send the scram to the scrandle.
Oh yeah. Okay, so the politis.
Yeah, yeah, the right one
Yeah.
definitely wins. It's not photogenic, but it wins.
Um.
Okay, now
Well.
start present. This is a crime, the right one. It's definitely the Euros, I think.
Well, what do you expect from Macedonia? I guess. How can the chicken gyros lose this? 67. What?
Yeah, I mean the price value on the sausages is really good, but still, okay, I don't understand how the oysters work. Like, is deep fried oyster even edible? It sounds weird to me, therefore I would go with the breakfast box usually.
Uh.
It's also pretty good value, the breakfast box.
Yeah. It's definitely more food for the price. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Oh my.
Okay, this is even close. Like, it's definitely the full English breakfast
Yeah.
here. I mean, look at the right one. I mean, sausage with mushy peas, man.
What's up? This is the sec.
Is there any other condiment?
This is the second time we see mint sauce together with peas. What is up with that? This is not a crime to the level of the mushy peas in a cup with mint sauce, but still, But why?
I mean, I do like peas, admittedly. Like, I eat peas with rice and stuff. And the Brits made something, man.
Yeah.
Like, what?
What in the world, even? All right.
Okay, this is hard matchup, I would say. This is not easy. I mean, both are pretty cheap.
Well,
I think the left one would win because of the vegetables in there, which is always a surplus.
I
And
mean, it's it has meat, This well, it might have something, but it's barely anything, and it's half a quid
yeah,
more.
the
So
sauce looks weird on the right one.
yeah, it has to be this.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely the left one. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Good
Okay,
work,
8
gang.
out of 10. That's not bad.
6-7 average. That's insane. Like, good work. And now, for the second act, we have diamond crystal iodide salt, 4 pounds.
I mean, this is America, right? And Costco is usually like more expensive than other supermarkets, as far as I know. I mean, here in Germany, you pay like how? Like 50 cents for like the cheapest salt for 1 or 2 pounds or 1 pound, something like that. The you decide you nee, iodized salt, it's like more, like maybe 150 for a pound. So maybe
Okay, let's start with
I would
5.
say $5 for this.
Oh man.
That's
Let's
unfortunate.
let's try 2 next then, or 3.
Yeah, I think two is fair. I mean, it's
Ooh,
salt. Okay,
uh,
this is the cheap salt then. This is like 50 cents.
okay, yeah, this has to be in the cent territory.
I mean, admittedly, I said like 40 cents for this at the beginning, but I thought it would be like more premium. Oh my God, more
Okay,
premium.
it has to be 1 then.
Yeah, one, I think.
Well,
Okay, this is
better luck next time then.
yeah. Good luck next time. I got one recently, like in one attempt or so. That felt so good.
Yeah, true shopper, one would say.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay,
this
this was it for the first episode of Return of Delusion. I'm really glad to be doing this.
Yeah. Important things were discussed. This will reach the people that it needs to reach, and the world will be a better place for it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. We need
Um,
to
we will be
go
back.
ahead, Rashid.
We will be back discussing more important matters of the world, so that you, the viewer, can become smarter for it. And
Exactly.
thank you for listening, and we'll see you again in the next episode. Have a good night.